I love saying it that way. So, Cenk, you are no Trump fan. But when you look at Biden, you see somebody that just can't get your endorsement. Why?
Yeah, so the reason why I'm so frustrated with Biden is because I really, really want Trump to lose. So the Democrats are crazy. He's costing us about 10 points. That's what every poll indicates. When I first started saying this, 77% of Americans thought he was too old. Now it's 86% of Americans saying he's too old to serve a second term. How much clearer does it need to be? Look, I think the Wall Street Journal article is a bit of a hatchet job, mainly by Republicans. I don't think the White House is wrong about that, but it doesn't really matter because it resonates because we all have eyes. We've seen him make massive mistakes, thinking that he was vice president when during COVID, mixing up his cabinet secretaries, mixing up foreign leaders, and then you just look at him. I mean, that clip you just showed where he's like frozen and doesn't know what to do. This is a disaster. It's political malpractice to run him. If this is the most important election of our lifetimes, it's not too late. Biden can drop out and become a hero, and we could actually beat Trump.
What do you think of that, Chris?
I think this is the exact kind of story I'd want to come out 3 weeks before a debate so that when I crush Donald Trump in the debate, people are saying, why were they saying he was old? His expectations are being lowered to a point where even with his bad knees, he'll easily step over it. So I think Biden is going to beat Donald Trump. I think when they are standing next to each other on the stage and the American people say, this is the choice.
Chris, let's just stick to the perceptions of his decline. Why do you believe perceptions of his decline are exaggerated or inaccurate?
Because the man has a record of accomplishment to run on, and he is still getting things done. He was able to just recently negotiate with members of Congress on that border bill. It didn't get passed, but he was the guy leading those efforts. The man is on the job. We are youth obsessed in this country, which is, it's why we don't call Cenk's show the middle-aged Turks. We call them the Young Turks. It's why you and I are in the gym every day. It is what it is, right? And I think that Joe Biden is old. Of course he's old, but he's experienced and he's wise. And in the second term, people could carry him around on his back so we don't have to see him walk anymore.
So, Cenk Uygur, I got crushed today playing basketball with my son and his friends. That's how I led off the top of the show, that I had a revelation while I was getting destroyed that this has to stop. And that's what I want people to tell the members in their parties. When they see them doing this lawfare stuff and playing cheap ball, tell them no more on social media. That's the new megaphone. But are we making that mistake in reverse in Biden of just looking at these negatives about him and realizing, hey, we're not recruiting him to play one-on-one basketball. We're recruiting him to do this job of knowing the right direction for the country and trust the team around him. Why aren't you analyzing it that way?
Yeah, guys, we all know this is absurd. Everybody in the audience knows this is absurd. So, look, we could beat Trump so easily. Right now, about 57% of the country doesn't want to vote for Trump. The only reason why Trump is actually currently winning, and it doesn't help us to deny reality, is because we all have eyes. They say absurd things, Chris, like, oh, you should see him behind the scenes. He's a dynamo.
Yeah.
Nobody believes that. Like, come on. What, he's saving it from behind the scenes?
Look, Chris, why isn't anybody talking more? Is it just too late? Is it just too late to remove Biden? Because you'd have chaos at the convention and you don't, there would be such a splintered thing. So I know Cenk believes it's not too late. Do you believe it's too late, or do you believe there's a chance?
I believe it's too late unless Joe Biden decides on his own he doesn't want to run. I think he's earned the opportunity to seek a second term. Look, would I rather have a Gen X guy running or a woman running for president of the United States? Of course I would. Of course. Look, anybody who's happy that our choice is between a 78-year-old and an 81-year-old is out of their mind. I agree with that. But Joe Biden has done a great job. He deserves a chance to run for a second term. And unless he doesn't want to, he is going to be our nominee. And I think a lot will depend on what happens at the end of the month at this debate. I think it's going to change a lot of minds, too.
Well, yeah, okay, Chris, so let's wait until then, and then we'll reconvene. Give me a last word, Cenk, quick.
Yeah, it isn't about what he's earned. We got to actually win the race. There's two alternatives here. He either becomes known as a giant narcissist who blew this race because of his ego, or he gets a chance to be a hero. Get a Gaza deal done, pathway to two-state solution, drop out, let the delegates pick the new candidate, and we'll be up 10 points. So be a hero, Joe Biden. Don't turn that down. There's no need to be the villain of this story.
As long as it's not Kamala Harris. If the Democrats pick Kamala Harris, they're not going to be up 10 points, Cenk. So
that's right.
Let's see.
Easy. Just give me anyone. Blank slate.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.